whose leadership style do you admire and would want to learn more about, or perhaps even emulate and take some of those traits and adopt them as your own?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, and when you think about leadership and how people, develop different styles, I've never had an individual that I've said, I really want to model myself overall on that person, but I've had a lot of people that I've looked at and said, wow, they do that great, and I'm so impressed at the way they do that. I just had this conversation with Reed Hastings, who's the Netflix CEO, and years ago, when I was the CEO of Responses, and he at that time was at Netflix, we shared 2 board members. So just coincidentally, 2 of our board of directors members. And they had said to me, you know what, you might benefit by having someone whose business is a little bigger than yours, because Netflix was bigger than Responses at that time, still is. You guys should get together. And it was sort of almost like trying to force a mentorship discussion, if you will. Yeah. And Reed and I both said, oh, okay. And we went. He actually came up to the Responses office and met, and it was great. And he's super interesting, super thoughtful guy. Some of his thoughts, and I'll get to what I think he's great about, thoughts on organization and about this concept of, some people don't like his thinking about this, but the meritocracy, aggressive meritocracy, assume your people are going to be the best, so you're going to pay a premium for people and expect a lot from them. He's got a lot of things I think are really powerful there that are make employees feel proud about being part of that team. At the same time, there's aspects of it that wouldn't be my first choice.
But what are those aspects?
Well, I think there's a concept of you want to enable people to be, quote unquote, adults, and you want to give them flexibility, like they have unlimited vacation, and one of the first companies to do that. And that's a good example of saying, we're trusting you to make the right decisions. Then as you scale, and they talk about performance, and they talk about a lot of concepts around, not quite up or out, but sort of the discipline to say, we're going to be coming back and cull, the group, and we're going to have a lot of stack ranking mentality. And even though I used to, when I was earlier in my career, I thought that made a lot of sense. Now I've looked at it differently, and different people can be successful in different ways. And trying to compare people to other people works in some organizations where you have like a quota in sales. I don't think it works as well in marketing. I don't think it works as well in HR. I don't think it works as well in IT. So letting people be excellent at who they are and not having to sort of force people, as rigidly into a model. I would differ with him on that. And by the way, I don't know his updated view. He's probably evolved as a manager. He might not think the same way. But it was great when we got forced sort of together to have some of these conversations. I realized that you can take things from other people, even though they don't do everything perfectly, and or everything perfectly in your perspective. So I learned a lot from him, and we've actually had additional. By the way, he called me one time when he wanted to know about online marketing. We developed some mutual respect. There are a lot of things I would call him and ask him for his opinion, and other things I might not.